All right, and we are on the air. How's everybody doing tonight? We're back with Burning Assassination Session 3, and I'm really, really excited for this session.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
So, last time when we left off, you guys were being shipped out. I don't know if I can't remember how we uh, wound up with the details, but what I want to set up, according to the beliefs that you wrote for this session, is you
yeah.
guys got out in
Which,
the
let's
crates
go over those with
that were
everybody.
used.
That way they know.
Yeah,
So beliefs were rewritten. I had quite a lot of ARDA after last session. New beliefs are: in order to oust the conspirators and put a stop to the attempts on the king's life, I must ingratiate myself to Isham. I shall start by offering my services as a thief and assassin. This should help me infiltrate his inner circle. Number
hmm
two is innocent life is the most valuable thing in the world. I must protect it at all costs. And number three is the warden of the Keep of Sorrows is a despicable man, and the king must know of his transgressions. To this end, I shall have to size up Griff's motives. If he proves trustworthy, I will give him the task of delivering a missive to the king. And I also changed my loving animals instinct to always blend in with the crowd.
excellent,
So that
excellent.
should be nice for them free inconspicuous roles should the need arise.
Yeah. So, okay, so what I want to do for this is just make sure that you guys are being shipped out via the smuggler crates. It was Griffin you and Isham and a guy he's carrying with him called Esteban. And what
Okay.
I want to make sure is that you're being taken out with the crates, but instead of going to the Griff's smuggler ship, you're going to a ship controlled by Isham. All right? So Isham is in
Yes.
control of your destination. So you basically go out
Yes,
according
it
to
is.
plan, and when you guys are finally taken out of the crates, it's in this Arundel ship, uh, which is the nationality that Isham and his crew belong to, and you set course in the middle of the night, straight south. The kingdom that you are in, Aranor, is up north, and then south of that is Lysenia, where Griff comes from, and even south of that are the jungles of Arundel, where Isham comes from. Since you have decided to pursue Isham and his inner circle as the most likely, or at least the faction that you're going to investigate, uh, they decide to set sail south. Um, so I suppose you make arrangements with him. He asks if you want to be let off at some other port, but
Yeah. And to this end, I tell him that I apologize again for betraying him in the manner that I did, but I tell him that I hope he understands and that my recent actions have made up for that and that we can begin a relationship anew. That I am now branded a traitor to my country, as he well knows,
hmm
and I still wish to assassinate the king. It needs to happen. I fight for my country, but at the moment, that's not something that I'm capable of carrying out. I need to train and build my strength and build my wealth. So to this end, I offer him my services as either a thief or an assassin. I tell him on the assassination mark that there's one stipulation, and that's that I will not take innocent life. If he needs criminals offed, I got his back, but no women, no children, only criminals. That while I am branded a criminal and a traitor myself, I do fight for my country to see it whole again.
he says he understands. Uh, uh, you certainly conducted yourself in a very impressive manner in your duel with Bulldog and Merrick, his henchman. Um, so a man of your skills is always useful, particularly in the country of Arundel where he is headed. Uh, I would be willing to take you on my service at least on a probationary basis, and we shall see what happens once we get to Arendelle.
Absolutely understandable. How long is this voyage to Arendelle going to take?
So it should take 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Uh,
Okay.
but as you guys start out, you run into some bad weather, and you are forced to pull into port in Lycia, uh, to weather a storm. So that
Okay.
actually adds an entire month to your journey.
Okay.
Okay. So if I recall correctly, that was about the time that you needed to heal up on your
Yes.
remaining meaty wound. Okay,
Yes,
so
that is correct.
we can cancel that penalty. And if you want to log in the time for practice, you have about a month on board.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep. And
so,
go ahead and
uh,
log that right quick. I would also like to, while I am in port,
mm-hmm.
obtain some gear because I'm
All right,
definitely in prison rags at the moment with nothing to my name.
that is true. Although the crew can give you, different clothes,
Yeah.
because so you
But
can go into town or whatever.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. But I definitely need, at the very least, a sword, a pack, like some traveling supplies
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for my own. Maybe a little bit of armor.
All right. All right. So let's take a look at those resources obstacles right there. Hmm. So let's see. Poor quality gear is an up-to test. Um, Run-of-the-mill arms is huh. Let's see. Oh, it's up three. Up three run-of-the-mill arms,
Okay.
and armor is tested separately, I suppose. Um,
Yes.
how would you handle that? Do you add up different ops? Because then it gets ridiculous real quick.
It would get ridiculous, but that if you are buying it all at once, you absolutely would. If not, I
Uh huh.
feel let it ride would kick in.
Okay.
That if I failed the first one, I fail them all. If I get the first one, I get them all. You'd only log the one test,
Yeah.
but then towards getting the gear, it would be there.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Um,
So let's go with the highest priced gear then, and see how
mhm.
that goes. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a run-of-the-mill sword, and some run-of-the-mill leather armor. Still want to be able to move and everything, but a little protection never hurt anybody.
All right. Any helmets or anything like that? I don't think so, right?
No, no, just
No.
maybe chest piece and arms and legs.
Yeah. All right. So this sounds like an op three test because run of the mill arms is op three, and let's see, run of the mill light mail is op three.
Okay.
So bad, lesser quality it should fit under the
Yeah.
same ob.
Yeah, that
So
sounds right because light mail and reinforced leather offer the same bonuses.
yeah, yeah.
So
So let's run in an op three
so it'll
test.
be an ob 3. Gonna talk to Griff about a helping die, and I'm gonna talk to Isham about a helping die as well.
All right. Sure. Isham is willing to spot you some cash in the interest of gearing you up for whatever upcoming use he has for you. So that'll be perfectly fine. And Griff is just following along. He has not been able to contact his crew, so for the present, he is just going where you are going.
Yeah,
He's not too happy to be going to Arendelle because he doesn't really trust the uh, Lycinian people, but for some reason he seems to want to stay with you. So he agrees. He'll try to get you
perfect.
some armor as well.
All right, so let's talk about failure consequence.
All right. And again, your resources are at 0. So if
No,
that fails,
no, I have a resource obstacle of higher than that. My
you're
resource is
exploding.
B3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because it doesn't go away because you went to jail. It just.
No, because it's the sum
Oh,
of all of everything. It's not just the coin in hand.
yeah.
It's property, relationships I can leverage, favors I can call in, loans, the whole 9 yards. So I do still have my B3 resources.
Okay. Okay. So that makes perfect sense. All right. So let's say if you fail. If you fail, what could happen? Somebody spots you. Uh, maybe treated like the enmity clause for a circles test, or
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm thinking maybe you could get a tail on you or something.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely acceptable, considering I have a 3D reputation as a trader within the
Uh
King's
huh.
country, and then on top of that, now I've broken out of prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense that they post notices to all the neighboring port cities and whatnot.
Yeah. So we'll say that this port is close to the border with Aranor, so you might be spotted by someone who actually recognizes you.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right, and we'll take it from there.
So I will be rolling 5 against an ob 3.
And you have some cash dice. You could pour
I
into
do
that if you.
not. All my cash die are gone.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is.
They went quick, and yeah, that's an absolute failure.
That's true.
Absolute
Yeah.
failure.
All right. So this is starting off interestingly.
Which
So
now
let's say,
means I
yeah.
am taxed.
But the good news is you find your gear, so you are geared up. And let's say
Well, that's good.
you manage to procure, shall we say, a short or something for Griff. Um and a knife for him, so he has some weapons too, and a gambeson.
Mm-hmm.
A gambeson sounds about right for him.
Sounds good.
Yeah, all right. So so you basically on your way back from the entire day spent at a market, just going from stall to stall. Um, Procuring all this gear, and let's make some sort of a test. Let's make an observation test. See if you can spot this guy. There's someone
Ooh,
following you.
sucks for me.
No
That
observation.
is one of the skills. One of the skills I wanted for my guy, but did
There's
not get
only so
around to
many
getting it.
skills. Yeah.
Yep, you can only take so many, and I
Yeah.
put a lot of thought into the skill list that I took.
All right.
So observation. Let's see. That's gonna be it's. I'll be rolling 4 dice because all of my stats are 4 with the exception of speed.
Uh huh. Uh huh. So this guy's going to be following you. So I'm going to make a stealth check for him, and it's going to be a versus test.
Yeah, but double
And
his
if you
successes.
succeed, yeah, if you succeed, you spot him, and you could use that information to your advantage. You could maybe set a trap or you could try to outrun him.
Okay.
And depending on what you decide, we might turn it into a link test. But if you
Okay.
fail, uh, you might you might see him, but you won't see the 4 town guards that he's set on your tail.
Okay.
So that might lead to a conflict right there.
Sounds good.
So let me roll here, see what you're up against. And it's 0. So it is your lucky day.
That is good. Oh my god. Why won't my mouse work? Thank
So
you.
you need at least one success because
Well,
he's like the defender here.
I need two. Because I need one to beat his
To
0,
beat him.
but then it's
Yeah.
beginner's luck, so it's double.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I need,
That's tougher, yeah.
and I will be rolling 4, which is still a routine, so this will count towards opening it up.
All right.
And no.
And you get nothing. All
Dice
right.
Roller does not like me.
No, it doesn't. So let me read it up real quick on ambushes here. See how we can make this. See how we can make this fly. Let me see. Surprise and ambush.
Kicking my ass.
So if the ambusher fails, no, the ambusher does succeed. He counts as having won the engagement at the start of the combat. Target must pass a steal test. Hesitation indicates how many action he loses from the start of this exchange. Wow, that's pretty tough. So it's going to be 4 guards. How do you want to run this? You want to do a bloody versus, or you want to try to outrun them, or
Well,
because what he,
that really depends. How long are we still in port? Is this like term, or is
oh,
this towards the end of that time?
no, let's call it to the end of the time. You could try to outrun them and maybe lose them in the crowd,
Yep.
or
Ooh! Hold on. I have an instinct that says I always blend in with the crowd.
there you go.
So I will
There
take
you
that
go.
inconspicuous role before any
All
of this
right.
happens.
Excellent. Excellent. So
So it's up 4, or I've got 4 on that, so let's see, inconspicuous obs. It's going to be page 278.
all right.
Inconspicuous is tested in versus tests against observation. Inconspicuous tests are penalized under the following conditions. Garrus or inappropriate dress, +1. Character is above, below his station, ob1. Character is not from region, ob1. Character is different race than those who he's trying to blend in with, ob2.
So wow. Okay. Let me check that real quick again. It was page
278.
278. That's it. All right. All right. So let's give you a +1 ob because
Sounds good.
you're not
I'm
from the
definitely not from the region, yeah.
yeah. But I'm gonna call these guards aren't the keenest in the whole town. So
Yep.
so let's see. Yeah, let's give him a base 3. So I'll
Well,
give him a
it's a versus test.
yeah.
Are you
So
talking for their 3
I'll give him three
observation?
three dice for observation
Okay.
and
So I've
and
got a
+1 ob.
4 on
Yeah.
my inconspicuous.
Uh huh.
I am going to fork in stealthy,
Uh-huh.
spycraft wise, and streetwise.
All right. Let me see if okay, Griff can assist you with stealth. He can give you a help dice with
Cool.
stealthy.
I
Hmm.
will take one. I will take his health die for a total of 8.
Nice. So let me roll first and see what we're looking at. So let's call it 3. That's 2
All right.
successes plus 1 for the bonus. That's 3. If you make it, you get away clean. If you don't, there's going to be some sort of
Yep.
either a high-speed chase or an armed conflict of some sort.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ah, nice, nice.
There we go. Now, for Griff's helping die that he's giving me, he does
Hmm.
get the test at his skill exponent as well.
Yeah,
Because I
it's a
know you've
4.
got them fully burned up. So
Yeah, that's true. So it was an op 3, and he's a 4.
that's
So
difficult.
if I remember correctly, that's difficult.
Yep,
Yeah,
that is difficult.
page
Sadly, it's
40.
only a routine for me, but I'm okay with that. If I get my damn mouse working on my desktop.
Yeah, here's my table.
Ooh, man, that was. I'm glad I switched that instinct.
Great, great. Yeah, I'm just happy we have that download for the hub and spokes because that advancement table is vital. I check it
Yeah,
constantly, so I
yeah,
need to have it up on screen.
yeah. That TM's reference clippy is super useful.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't like the table and the clippy. I like the one in
Yeah.
the act in the they have the hub and spokes
Hmm.
for download at the store. So
Yeah.
I just blow it up on my screen every time we play. So so yeah, you managed to procure your gear. You managed to lose the tails.
Yep.
So you make it home free to the ship.
Yep. And when we get there, I will inform Isham that I was spotted and that we should probably leave port sooner rather than later. That I was.
Yep.
They're definitely there, and I froze up. Oh, there we go. Did all my audio come through on your
Yeah,
end?
we're having a little lag. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm getting a little
It
lag
was
too.
interrupted, but it came.
Like, let me pull up my task. Let me pull up my task manager and see if there's anything I can take off. It's just. Jesus Christ, Google Chrome is eating through my stuff. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to
That's okay.
fix my performance. I'm running at 99% CPU usage.
Yeah, let me see if I can drop. Wait, let me just pull out of this page,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
and
it's
that
my
should.
end because my processor's
Mm-hmm.
not doesn't meet the minimum specs to run Google on Air. I'm
Yeah.
just shy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, pretty sure it's my end.
All
But
right.
it's okay. Seems like the lag has passed. But yeah, I let him know that they were almost able to get up to me, but thankfully
You made it through.
masterful skill set allowed me to slip away unnoticed at the last second.
Excellent. Did you fork in Spycraft? That should have been.
Yeah, I did. I
Oh,
had I ran inconspicuous. I forked stealthy, spycraft. Um, let's see, it was 4, 5, 6, 7. What else? And griftwise.
and okay. Nice, nice. All right. So the ship takes off, and you guys travel south, and eventually you manage to come up to the mouth of a great river, the great river Arendar, uh, which you know that the capital city is inlands going through the river.
Okay.
But you guys are at the mouth of the river, and there's an island at the mouth of the river with a fortified town called Gilshan. So you guys pull in to replenish provisions and whatnot before you venture deeper into the jungles, headed for the capital city. So you guys pull in, and you're docked on the docks of this jungle city. Uh, uh, at evening, you can see large fruit bats uh, flying above the treetops, and it's a fortified place. There's a stone fortress, not too large, but it dominates the island, which serves as the entrance to the great river. And there is a small town with cobbled streets and colorful houses. Um and Isham stays in the ship, and his people go out during the day and buy supplies and whatnot. And later at evening, he calls you and Griff over to his cabin to discuss some things.
Okay.
So you guys go in, and you notice that he's standing with his usual uh, entourage. I was about to say, but he always travels with Esteban, who is the guy that escaped with you from prison.
Hmm.
This is a thin, bald man um, who always accompanies him, and you remember that this is the guy that was supposed to poison the food for Isham's original escape plan, which
Okay.
you managed to convince him not to take. And he's also got this big hulking guy behind him called Ogo, who is his bodyguard.
Okay.
So, Isham calls you in and he says, "We are finally in my country, the great Arundel. Uh, um, as you see, we are here at the port of Gilsham, and my associates have gone through town, and they have identified a man that I wish to be rid of. His name is Tegol. Uh, Tegol is the man who sold me out to the guards at Adenor and had me imprisoned.
Okay.
This man used to work for me. Uh, he was one of my dealers in drugs and poisons. Uh, and while we were delivering one of our shipments over at Adenor, he turned me in for which I presume was a hefty monetary amount. Um, I had not expected him to have made his way back south to Arundel. Uh, uh, as I am fairly important within Arundel's underworld, but he has been spotted in town. So I figure this is the perfect test for your abilities. Uh, you have said that you're a good thief and an assassin. So uh, I want you to kill this man and send him a message.
Okay.
Uh, are you willing to do this for me?
Yeah, he's a drug dealer. He's a criminal. He fits
Hmm.
the criteria.
Yep. So I want you to deliver a message. Just tell him Isham sends his regards, or something to that effect. I want him to know that he dies at my command.
Okay.
Um, there is a second condition. There must be no witnesses. You are an outsider here in my country, and would be easy to spot. You
Okay.
are from Aranor, so you're a lighter skinned guy. These guys are heavily tanned. Um, their hair is darker, so it's probably difficult for you to blend in, and the obstacles that we found for inconspicuous seem to confirm that. So
That they
uh,
do, but I have plans. This seems
exactly.
like
So
a
hey, but this is
perfect use for a disguise test to maybe get some like ninja shrouds going on to cover up my skin and my hair.
exactly. But this is his conditions, and this is why he's making them. He's concerned that you may be found, and this may in turn lead you back to him, and he wants you not to be recognized because he has big plans for you at the capital once he gets there.
Yes,
All
don't
right.
worry. No one will see.
So, so he of course is willing to pay you handsomely for this uh, important
Okay.
assignment.
So on that note,
Hmm.
right now my resources are taxed for failing that resource test. I'm down a die.
That's true.
Now, under the get a job rules, I have to work X number of days, normally a cycle, to recover that die. In lieu of getting that job, if I perform this job, whatever the reward he gives me, can I just apply that to recover my lost die instead of taking the loot?
That sounds fine.
Cool.
That sounds fine.
So that will be the option that I choose when once payment comes.
All right.
So where might I find this man?
Well,
Do you have a schedule he keeps?
this man is in town. He seems to be working as a spice merchant um, in the town. So that's all my people have managed to gather. They've seen his shop. Uh, he calls it the Great Emporium,
Okay.
uh, and they tell you approximately the southeast corner of the bazaar is where it is. There's a great plaza in the town where most of business is conducted, and at the south west corner he conducts his business. Now the plaza is also like where uh, the mayor's building is. But that's where he works during the day. He sleeps at the fortress uh, at night. The mayor, not this guy. But just
Okay.
letting you know, so you can plan accordingly. So that's it.
Okay. It will be done. Me and Griff will abscond for now, discuss, and upon our return, he will be dead. Would you like any sort of proof, a head, a finger, an eyeball, brought back with me? Or will word of his death reach your ears?
Yes, it surely will. No trophy is necessary. I will know that this man is dead before we set sail.
Okay. Well, me and Griff will return to my quarters and discuss how this is going to go down, and we will leave.
Excellent.
So once we get back to the quarters, I ask Griff if he's okay helping me with this.
Well, he tells you that he's a smuggler, not really an assassin. But if he's not expected to kill anyone, then he can lend you a hand, maybe as a lookout, or if you need some help sneaking into the man's place of business, or
Yeah,
whatever means it is that
that's
you.
all. I don't want to put you in a position you don't want to be in. I know you are farther south than you wanted to go after we left the prison, and I greatly appreciate you accompanying me.
He
But this is
says,
something that needs to be done. So what I want from you, we're going to go scout the location. I'm going to find an alternate entrance into his shop.
hmm
I want you to walk in and haggle over some wares purchases. And during that haggling, I will use that to sneak up and slit his throat. And then we shall both leave.
"All right, all right." He says it sounds fine. What time will we be doing this?
I want to get there right before sundown.
All
I
right,
want you to be his last customer.
all right,
That way I know it's only you in his shop and we can abscond.
all right. Uh, Okay, so he.
Oh, and I do have 5 cash. I just found them. I had them in my
Okay.
notepad section
Yeah,
with all my names and gangs and all of that stuff that I don't have on the actual character sheet. So I do still
Excellent.
have 5 cash die.
Okay, I thought you did, so that's why I was. I didn't check my notes though, but I'm sure it's there someplace. So,
Yeah.
so right. So that's basically what you're gonna do. You're gonna hide out in the ship until the time comes, and then go to the shop.
Well, we're gonna head out now.
Okay.
That way we can begin scouting out the location.
All
Traffic
right.
patterns, how busy it is, alternate entrances into a shop that we can't see.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. So you go to the town. You find this.
Well, hold on. Before we go to the town, I would like to get my disguise ready.
All right. All right.
Disguise is on 267. So disguise is the art of changing one's face or appearance to look like another person or ethnicity. Disguise gender, disguise social class, city dweller. Uh, that's ob 1. Merchant or priest is ob 2. Peasants ob 3. No,
Oh, you froze up again.
I don't think that disguise is appropriate. I feel like and whatnot to just cover my skin as a just say yes type of thing, as opposed to an actual test after looking over these obs for disguise.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So it shouldn't be
Okay.
too.
So yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
envisioning just like strips of black cloth wrapped up around my face to cover my eyes and my arms and whatnot. Just any so
Oh man,
kind of
you're
wish I had
breaking up
a
a
full
lot.
on disguise.
You're breaking up a lot. I
Am I? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
whoop.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill my
You got
camera, and
dropped.
that should help out quite a bit. No, I turned my
Oh,
camera
okay.
off to
Yeah,
help out with the
yeah.
lag,
It has.
so that should work a bit better. But you know what?
Okay.
Looking
Okay.
over the disguise, I do need 10 for disguise
Yeah.
anyways, so I'm gonna disguise my gender. It is an ob 1 test.
What we could, what we could do is since we aren't using stocks like orcs and elves and whatnot, we could maybe use ethnicity as a stock and call it an ob two.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. I'm down with that.
All
Let
right.
let's do that. So I've got disguise of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 persona points into this.
All right. So let's say that you've procured maybe some pigments and you can dye your skin to make it look tanned, um, and that maybe helps you get along, and maybe dye your hair
Yeah.
or something.
And actually, I'm not gonna put 2. I'm only gonna put 1.
Okay.
1 persona point. So that will give me 3. Does Griff have an appropriate fork that he or something that he could help me out with? Maybe acting or theatrics. Something
No.
appropriate he could give me a helping die with.
Let me see. Falsehood. Uh, no, not really. He's a good.
Okay.
If you need someone at sea, he's your man. But
Yeah.
if you need to steal a boat or something,
Griff's the guy.
here's your
Let's see
guy.
here.
Yeah.
Well, I can absolutely put spycraft wise in.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
That's a good one. And
Maybe the grift,
yeah,
grift
you know
wise.
what? I'm gonna do spycraft and griftwise and keep my persona
Okay,
because that'll still give me the 4 dice for the ob 2, and then I don't have to burn that persona point.
all right.
All right, so fail. I imagine that I get my pigments wrong. and
You
I
wind up
I can't wash it off, so I just stand out even more.
exactly.
Maybe advantage
Some,
dice to anybody that's trying to like do observation on me or whatnot.
yes, I like that. I
Perfect.
like
All right,
that.
here goes the roll,
Yeah.
and I failed tremendously.
Oh, really?
Not a single success because
Wow.
you can't see my dice when my cam's not up. Correct.
No, no,
Okay.
no
Yeah.
dice.
Yep. Failed tremendously.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
apparently I
So
mixed my dyes wrong, and I am a bright spray tan orange.
I used to know a guy used to use that suntan lotion thing where it's like a fake tan,
Yeah.
and man, he was like orange. You could tell it
Yeah.
was a fake tan thing. So some people go for
Yeah.
that. So hey, but okay,
So
it's
that
gonna look
didn't
weird.
work,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I needed to test, so I'm okay with it. Hopefully, the rest of
Okay.
my tests will go by fine, and I'll be all right, and it
Okay.
won't
Okay.
come into crap. So, yeah, we go and kind of check out his shop. I don't want to enter his shop myself,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
especially considering my newfound skin tone.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I'll be rather remembered, so I would like to just inconspicuous around the crowd. I don't have to roll with it if you don't feel it needs a roll. Just
Not at
to
this time.
just
Yeah.
to check out the entire building without
Yeah.
looking suspicious as I do it, so I
Okay.
can look for other access points, skylight, windows, back door, something like that.
Yeah. So I feel this is gonna be like perception.
Okay.
Um, Cause because observation is to find something hidden, right?
Yeah.
Perception is
Yes.
to look at stuff that is there and not necessarily actively trying to hide from you. Is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
So, so
Yeah, do not use observation for standard perception test to spot a weakness in armor, notice details of a flag, or to look for an escape tunnel.
yeah. So let's do a perception test.
Okay.
And
Should this be maybe a graduated perception test?
uh, no, let's run it in one go. I'm wondering if you can get help in this. Stats can help stats. Is that correct? I think so.
Um,
So let's take a quick look and see if stats can help stats. Because I know stats cannot help skills,
yes.
but I know that skills can help stats, and I can't remember if stats and attributes may never fork.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's just strictly my perception.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Not just
it does make sense. So here's the question. Do you want to set an ob for this?
yeah.
Because it feels to
Uh,
me like a graduated, the more successes I have, the more information I glean would also be appropriate.
it might be, but
But it's up to you. Whatever you want
no.
to do, I'm fine with.
I'll. You know what I'll do? I'll give you. You have like four for perception, right?
Yes, I have 4 for perception.
Okay, I'll give you an advantage dice because Griff is with you. All right, so you have
Okay.
an extra pair of eyes.
Yeah, and what I want, Griff, I'm gonna send Griff inside
Hmm.
and have him kind of scope shit out from the inside and just kind of browse the wares, and then I'll
Okay.
check outside, and then we'll meet down the block and compare notes.
Okay, so it's going to be an op 3 test. And
Okay.
if you succeed, you're going to see the basic entire layout of the place. And if you fail, uh, you are not going to notice an important detail. And I'm trying to break out of my usual D&D mindset here.
Yeah.
And I should just tell you what it is. No surprises, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No
So,
surprises.
okay, so this is a 2-story building.
Okay.
And the guy's family actually lives upstairs. So if you
Okay.
make it, you realize that the family is upstairs, And if you fail, you're going to overlook that. So you're going to go right ahead with your plan to go in and kill the guy, and you might run into some family members come in and
Okay.
see.
All
All
right.
right? How's that sound?
That sounds good. I definitely like that.
All
So
right.
here's the roll, and five,
So
four
it's going to be
successes.
4 successes.
Yep,
Okay, so you
I
make
got
it.
4, 3, 5, 4, 4. So yes.
So you actually do notice that the second floor, he's got, there's a couple of people, including at least one child, that you guys are aware of. Maybe when Griff goes inside and starts looking at the wares, he sees a small girl round down some inner stairs that they have inside the shop, and talk to the guy, and the guy just says, "Go upstairs, honey," and she runs back up.
Okay.
Right? So you realize that this guy's family, he lives upstairs, and they're right there with him.
Okay. At this
So,
point, I begin thinking this man may be an innocent after all. That maybe he decided to change his ways to look after his family. So now I'm going to have to question him instead of just going with the outright assassination.
burning wheel, baby.
If I feel he's innocent, we're going to have to fake his death.
All right. So, burning wheel, put those
Yep.
beliefs one
Yep.
up against each other.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. But
Yeah.
so after Griff informs me of this, I tell him to just mingle around outside the shop, that I'm going to go in and speak with this
Okay.
man, that we may not be murdering him after all.
All right. All right.
So I stride into the shop. I was kind
Mhm.
of leaning on the counter, and I tell him that we need to talk in private, that his life is in danger.
And he looks at you and says, "What could you possibly mean? Should we summon the town guard?"
No, we should speak in private. And to assure you, since I am but a stranger to you, and I must look awfully strange, I will peace bond my weapons. And I'll pull some rope out of my pack and knot off my weapons so they can't be pulled with ease.
All right. So he's a little nervous, but he sort of looks around, and let's say his wife comes downstairs at that moment, and he says, "Honey, could you take care of the shop for a moment? I need to speak with this gentleman." And he opens up a section of the counter and
Okay.
beckons you to the back, where he has a curtain, and he can draw it, and it's sort of like a small storage area where he
Okay.
has jars of spice and kegs uh, and crates.
I'll take a seat on one of the crates. I'll look him in the eye, and what I'm about to tell you, you will find disturbing, and it will probably frighten you. But I'm an assassin. I've been sent here to kill you, but I fear that I was not giving all the information I was supposed to. You see, I do not kill innocents, and I feel like you might be an innocent. So we're going to sit down and talk, and what you say is going to determine whether you live or die. Now, I believe that you are the one that turned Isham over and got him sent to prison. Is this correct?
Isham, the guy's getting really nervous. Uh,
I don't care that you turned him over. What I care about is why. Why did you go from running drugs for Isham to running this legitimate shop, and your motives behind turning Isham in?
all right, so hmm. So he says, "So who told you this? Who says I turned anyone in?"
Isham does. He's the one that hired me to kill you. But I told Isham the conditions of my services require that he does not send me to kill innocents. And after seeing your legitimate shop and your family, I feel you might be an innocent. And this is something I must know, because if you are, I will not kill you, and we will have to fake your death. And you will have to leave the city.
Leave the city.
Yes, because if Isham knows if you do prove that you are an innocent, I cannot kill you. That doesn't mean Isham won't. If I don't do it, he'll just find somebody else that will do it. So he will have to believe that you are in fact dead, which means we will have to fake your death. You will have to leave the city, and your family will have to catch up with you after an appropriate period of grieving time. And I will help you do all of this, provided that you convince me that you are an innocent.
All right. So are we heading into Duel of Wits territory here?
We could be.
Uh,
I feel like it very well could be a duel of wits right now.
yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be. So he does say that he turned Isham in to get away from the life of crime. He was involved in the in Isham's drug dealing operation, and he wanted out. But nobody leaves that life and gets away easy.
Okay.
So what he wants is to send the town guard in to seize the ship and seize Isham.
Yeah, and that's not something I can allow. So
And
this
that's not something you want.
This is
So.
absolutely a duel of wits. So let me grab my duel of wits equipment right quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, I don't have mine either, so I'll be back too.
Right. Viewer, sorry. This will only take I don't know,
Sure.
90 seconds max.
Okay. All right.
Back. Oh, I need to log that perception test. What was the exponent on that perception? Or the
I think I gave you a 3.
a 3?
And you beat it by. Yeah.
Yeah, and I rolled with 5, so that's only a routine.
Yeah, you rolled 5 dice. That's correct. So,
Which does not get logged.
All right. So
that is okay. So at this point, he's convinced me that he isn't innocent.
yeah, I figured I'd give you that. So
Yeah. So now it's just we're duel of witsing to decide how we're going to resolve this.
Yep. Let me see if I have some NPCs burnt up. There's a guy did some 3 life pass NPCs, and he probably has a merchant or something. Let me take a quick look over here.
You can always use the burning rogues in the back of the book.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. And I remember there was one. Let's see if it's in the wiki. We'll wing it. This is not Duel of Wits. This is Duel of Wits. There we go. So, let's see. So dual wits is body of argument and statement of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
So let's see. What is? Oh, we're gonna go. I will be starting with a body of argument of 8.
ouch. You will help. Um, all right, just writing my statement of purpose, and let's see. What skills is he going to use here? Let's go with persuasion, and let's fork in haggling. I figure he has haggling.
Sounds good.
So, and what else? What else? Um,
And to be clear, for mine, I use my falsehood at a B5, forking in intimidation and griftwise.
All right, so I'll roll 5 dice. Let's see.
Okay.
So it's your will exponent plus
yeah,
the skill successes.
Plus your skill successes.
All right, so let's see. Ouch, that's a good roll.
Yes, it is.
Oh, there's a number not showing. That's weird.
Yeah, it's not showing up on mine neither.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. It's actually 4 successes.
Okay.
So it's going to be a BOA of 8. And you're starting with 9, you said?
I'm starting with 8.
Oh, 8 too. So it's 8 versus 8. Right. All right. So let's get to scripting.
I am scripted and ready.
Hang on.
Oh, and my statement of purpose is we must fake your death to ensure your safety. It is the only way. If we do not, you will surely perish. Which is why I justified using falsehood as opposed to persuasion for that. Is because it's not the only way to ensure it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to convince him that it is. And then with the vague threat of death, I was able to justify the intimidation fork as well.
Okay, let me check here real quick. All right, I'm scripted.
All right, for volley 1, I've scripted a point.
Okay, and I have a point 2.
Okay, so this is how it works out, bud. You rat it on him once. Now he wants you dead. You rat on him again, it's only going to inflame his anger even more, and you will surely die. So that will be persuasion plus intimidation and spycraft-wise.
All right. So point versus point is just a standard test.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And I was checking. I think a standard test in this circumstance is just every single success counts.
Every success.
There's no
okay.
op.
No
Yeah.
op works for me.
Yeah. No, op 1 is in the fight.
Gotcha.
Subsystem.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I came up with 2 successes.
All right. So that brings him down to 6. So what he says is, but he's right here. You know where he is. You can lead us to him. he's lost a great deal of power being away for so long. The town guard can just seize his ship or by whatever means he came here, and he will be caught and put in the dungeons. There's nothing he can do to escape. So that's his point. So I'm gonna do straight persuasion, and he says. He says, I'm sure if you cooperate with the town guards, they won't prosecute you. We don't need to tell him that you're an assassin working for him. You can just leave. So he's going to fork in some haggling right there.
Okay.
So let's see. So that's one success.
All right.
So you're down to 7. All right. So
Volley 2.
next volley.
I've scripted a rebuttal.
And I have a void. So I don't think any of us tests.
Neither of us test. We just kind of at each
kinda-
other.
Yeah. He goes, but next volley.
Yeah. Volley
All
3,
right.
I've scripted a point.
I've scripted feint, so that's really bad for me, isn't it?
Using a feint, the speaker leads his opponent into a trap. He lures him to think he is discussing one point until a hidden barb is revealed. Feint can be used to bypass rebuttal and to attack, feint, incite, and obfuscate. In a standard test, each success subtracts from your opponent's body of argument. In a versus test, margin of success is subtracted from your body of argument. So let's see. A point.
No, but in the table it says
feint
versus point. It says nothing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't get a roll. You're vulnerable to me on my point. So my point is, well, yes, you may think that prison will hold him. He already escaped once, just very recently. I was there when he did it. That's where I met him. If he did it once, he can surely do it again. And while he may have lost power here, he gained power in prison.
Right, so he just
that
looks at you and starts to say something, but he just stutters.
So that will be my persuasion, intimidation, and spycraft-wise. And I'm going to throw a persona point into this one.
Okay.
So let me knock that persona off, because this is for one of my beliefs.
Yes, it is.
One success.
All right. So it's slowly but surely.
Yep.
All right. So now we have a whole new exchange. So
All right. I am scripted and ready to go.
yeah, I'm scripted too. So
Right,
volley 1.
I scripted rebuttal.
And me too. So I think
that's a wash.
That nothing happens. Yeah.
We just talk in circles at each other.
Yeah. So let's go straight to volley 2.
I have scripted an incite.
And I have scripted an avoid. So let's see how that works.
The versus test.
Incite versus avoid is a versus test. That's right. So what do you tell him?
Okay. The inciting player passes the standard test or wins the versus test. The victim makes a steal test. If the victim hesitates, he misses his next action. However, if incite fails, the margin of failure is added as advantage dice to his opponent's next test. Right. I look at him and I tell him that he has no idea what he's talking about, that he's being an absolute fool, that if he wishes not only for his safety, but for his family's safety as well, he needs to come with me. Because while turning him in the first time put a hit on his head, betraying him a second time is going to mean he sends me after him and his family. And that's something that neither of us wants. Now, I don't know for sure that that's what he'd do. and
Okay.
inciteless falsehood is one of the primary skills.
Okay.
So I will be
So you're
rolling my
just lying.
falsehood for this.
All right, and he's going, I have a place here, and I have a family, and I have an establishment, and I'm in this community, and I can't possibly leave, and this is ridiculous, and that's his avoid the topic.
Okay, so
So
let's gather
he
up some dice.
tests, okay, he tests will.
Okay.
Now, if he tests will against a, well, it's just a straight versus.
Yeah, it's a straight versus.
Yep.
And because it's will, he gets no forks. Good me.
No.
So I've got a
Yeah.
falsehood of B5. I am forking in intimidation for the threat,
All right.
and spycraft wise. Plus, I think I can justify griftwise with this. Griftwise is all about lying and manipulating your
Yeah.
opponent, and I feel that's reasonable.
That's
So I'm rolling
pretty much
8
what's
dice.
going on here. All right. So
Oh, so
I
I
got
came
two
up with
successes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, 3 of which were sixes.
Wow.
So
So he's
that's
only got.
absolute win, which means he makes a steel test.
Ooh, that's right. And let me see. Does it add anything to his? When you win, you must make a steel test. Oh no. Okay. Just make a steel test.
Yeah, and if you fail the steel test, he hesitates, he misses his next action. It doesn't go with margin of failure for it. This steel test is either you make it or you miss it, and it's only one action if you fail.
Okay. So and it's only one action if you fail.
Yep, you only miss your next action.
Oh,
Next
okay.
is even italics to emphasize it.
That's true. That's true.
Now, if I would have failed that, my margin of failure would have been added as advantage dice to your next test.
All right. So let me figure out what his steal would be, because this guy, he was a criminal before he was a.
Yeah.
So I have a mind to give him at least a steal of 5. Let me check
Sounds
the
fair.
questions real quick. Yeah, well, I'm gonna just give him a 5. 5
Okay.
sounds good. And his
then-
hesitation would be 6, I
Yes.
believe, because it's
Yes.
So with 5 he can't win. I'm gonna
Unless
give him a
he-
persona point.
Yeah, give him a persona point. Give him a chance.
Yeah,
okay with
let's
that.
roll 6 dice. And let's roll 6 dice. And I'll give him 1 fate and 1 persona for the whole exchange.
Okay.
So let's see what happens. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
But he's got that fate.
But it's got that fate. So let's fade it up and see what happens. 2 more.
Come on, lose this. I need you to lose this.
I think he loses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, he does. All right.
And
So he
this
hesitates for the
6.
next
So
volley,
he hesitates.
and
Yeah.
I have scripted a dismiss.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's a good combo.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. So look, I've already told you everything that you need to know. You have all the facts, and if you don't just agree with me, you're retarded. Like, this is what's going to happen. This is what needs to happen. Just shut up and accept it. So here comes. Let's see. What can I use for dismiss?
You don't have ugly truth, do you?
I don't.
Because that would have been
But
like.
I have intimidation.
So tell him, if you don't listen to me, you're dead.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Like you already know what's up. So intimidation, I'll fork in persuasion, and spycraft wise. So and I get +2 for the dismiss.
Exactly because of the dismiss. Yep. That's awesome.
So 8 dice. I come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. He's out.
You knocked him down to 0.
Nice.
Sweet
And he
job.
only took me down by 1 point, which means I only owe him a very minor compromise.
Very minor compromise. So what should he ask for? So we're doing it your ways. He's faking his death and he's leaving town, basically.
Yes.
But he's taking his family with him, right?
I instructed him to leave his family behind because if his family just up and leaves at the same time he dies, it looks suspicious. So they have to stay behind for at least a couple of weeks to tend to affairs here and mourn and have a funeral and the whole 9 yards because we got to make it look real.
Okay. Okay. So okay, so maybe he wants to tell his wife and have her know what's going on. Uh, is that okay, or
Um,
is that too big? Well, at least he needs his family. He wants his family. So if
yeah, and his family will get to him. We just have
okay,
to, give it a week or two for them to properly mourn, have the funeral, close up the business, and decide that it's too painful to stay here in the memory.
all right.
All right, so
So
I will counter his offer because I do feel straight up telling his wife, who I've never met, is a
okay,
bit bigger than a minor compromise because I don't know if I can trust her. I tell
okay,
him that I will speak with his wife, and if I feel that she is trustworthy, I'll make a manhunter roll.
okay.
That we will explain things to her, but if I feel like she will ruin this plan, we cannot do it because it will put him and his whole family in danger.
All right, all right, all right. So you win. You get your way.
Yeah, yeah, that was a fun one. I'm glad
I
that Insight and Dismiss worked. I
so
misread Insight last time I did it, and I didn't roll my falsehood. I rolled my Persuasion in that last
yeah.
duel of wits, which I was like, that's losing 3 dice for me. So I'm glad that
Uh,
worked out this time.
the subsystems are awesome. The more I
Yeah,
play them, the more I like them. And the
yeah,
Duel of Wits is fantastic because it's not as stressful. And
yeah,
you know you're not gonna die, so at least there's
yeah.
compromise
But
involved, and
but you could get stuck in some shitty situations with it.
yeah,
So let me see here.
it's still fun.
That was a routine persuasion and a routine falsehood. Oh, and a routine intimidation. Lots of routine tests in there. Which I don't even think I need routines for B5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you don't. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you don't because I,
yeah.
I
I'm
have
pretty sure
B5 and
B4 is the
sword.
last one
Yeah,
that you need routines for.
yep. I
Yeah.
just because I have my character has sword at 5, so I'm always on the lookout for that. Yeah.
But I did
Yeah.
burn a persona, so we're gonna go ahead and log that too. All right, so I tell him to go take over the shop and send his wife back here.
All right. So he does, and
Um, say hello.
I feel like just saying let it ride because
Just let it
you have
ride that she
yeah
is trustworthy.
yeah you
Okay.
can just
So after a little bit of conversation, I start to get the sense that
mhm.
she's trustworthy. So
All
I
right,
I fill her in on what's going down,
all right,
and I tell her that this is going to happen by the end of the night.
okay,
That it's the only thing that they expect me back, and that word of your husband's death to reach his ears by nightfall. So this is something we
all
have to
right,
get on. So whatever your husband asks you for, I need you to do. Under no conditions do you tell your children or any other family members what's going on, and I hope you can act because you got to play the grieving widow.
all right. Okay, so I feel at this point we need to make some sort of possibly a link test or
Yeah,
something to convince Isham
yeah.
that
I'm
things went down.
I'm imagining. First off, I have to have a body,
Hmm.
right? There's got to be a corpse. No body, no crime.
Yep.
So I got to procure a body, but if I just go with anybody, he's gonna know it's not him. So I feel like the only way to do this is to maybe torch the entire establishment. That way the body's unrecognizable. I'll give his
Exactly.
family time to gain everything, and they can come up with an excuse. Wife and kids were out visiting, an aunt or whatever the case may be when this happened.
All right.
And they can gather whatever belongings that they feel they absolutely can't do without, and they can they can leave.
Okay.
After that, I am going to have to do some kind of circles or resources test to get
Mm-hmm.
them set up in a new place. At least to get him set up in a new place, because they're going to stay behind for a little bit to properly mourn and have their funeral and whatnot.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm either going to have to go murder a random that I
Yeah,
find on
that's
the
that.
streets for the body, or maybe
We need,
there's a morgue that I could break into.
we need to find a body. Um, then you need to like set the scene somehow, arrange
Yeah.
it. So this is like a big con. So I'm thinking spycraft, maybe grift. Uh,
Maybe fork those into a disguise roll to play up the
okay,
scene.
okay. Uh, so first we need to let's break it down into steps so we can
Okay.
sort of
So A has to obtain a body.
A is to obtain the body, B is to set up a scene, which you are contemplating setting the place on fire. Uh, the family can just go to an aunt's house or something like that. That's
Yeah.
not too much trouble. You need to set the scene and
Final step is I have to get him out of town without anybody noticing.
okay, get him out of town. And final step, I'm gonna say you have to sell the lie to Isham. You have to falsehood him in the face
Yeah,
with
I'm cool with
this.
that.
Okay, so how shall we do failures and success and failure? So the whole
Okay.
intent is to make
Well,
him disappear. Hmm.
yes, is make him disappear and for everybody to believe he is dead. That's the final intent.
So if
So
you fail, because every step is just going to add obs and subtract obs,
yes,
what it's going to do. But the final step is selling the lie, and if you accomplish the entire set of the 4 link tests,
yes,
then what happens if you fail? If you succeed, he buys it. The guy's dead. You're the greatest assassin in the world.
yes.
And
If
if
if I
you
fail,
don't,
like the final roll that all the link tests are going into are the falsehood test to Isham. If I
mhm,
fail, he knows I'm lying, and I imagine he'll have his big hulking bodyguard try to assassinate me, right? Just try to kill me right there on the spot, and Griff as well, which would put us in a full-on conflict.
okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. I mean, I don't really see the failure consequence being anything other. This will be the second time I've tried to betray him. Like I
That's
absolutely,
true.
I feel like he's gonna kill me.
That's true. You know what? This is Burning Wheel. So,
Yeah, yeah,
let go of all your
yep,
preconceptions and whatever you may have had planned down the road.
yep.
Let's
And
roll.
I'm absolutely okay with him trying to kill me. Like
Excellent. Excellent.
I'm fully aware that I could die very easily, especially in this particular campaign, because I'm doing a lot of scheming and a lot of backstabbing and pissing off a lot of people.
And
Like
there's
I'm
a
fully aware that this character could die at any given point in time.
and there's a lot
Okay,
of evil
so
people around. So
let's go with the all right. So the body.
yeah.
Um, is there? I want to. Let's see.
You know
Are we
what?
gonna
I don't
just
know.
say yes on a morgue to
So,
find like an already dead body that I can steal?
no, we're gonna do a townswise or something like
Or
that.
I got streetwise,
Uh,
which is for navigating the city and knowing the different spots.
uh, okay. Let's take a look at the obstacles and let me see. Because I was thinking maybe beginners locking something, but uh, that's really specific. Let's see if Streetwise will do what we want.
All right,
All
streetwise
right.
is
And
page
302?
Yep.
Yeah, 302. Etiquette of the city streets, navigate urban centers safely, allowing them to find places only a native would know. Sounds good.
I feel that it'd
Let's call it
be
up two.
yeah, obtuse sounds good.
Yeah, let's
Because
do it.
while I feel the morgue would be a fairly well-known establishment in a city I've never been to, I also feel like it'd be an out-of-the-way place as well. Like it's well-known but out of the way. Because the
Yeah.
morgue's not going to be like in the center of the city, so I feel obtuse would be.
Or we could say yes, and then you have to sneak in to steal
Yeah,
a body.
that's what I was thinking.
So
Well, I was
let's
trying
do
to
that.
establish if there was a morgue and then rolling a
No,
test to actually get in and get the body out.
let's do that. See what
Well,
happened. Okay. So
I'm going to. How do I want to do this? I'm going to do inconspicuous
all right.
for this and try to blend in with the workers and just whoever's in there
Okay.
and like pretend like I should be there,
Mm-hmm.
which will allow me to fork in my falsehoods, which will be
Okay.
nice, stealthy and spycraft wise.
All right.
So that's going to be 7 against what's the op for this? It's a versus test against observation.
Yeah, you got to go in and you got to pull out a body,
Yeah.
and there's
maybe-
guards around. So let's call it up 3.
Well, it's a versus test, so I was thinking.
Oh, a versus
So-
test.
Yeah, yeah. For inconspicuous and stealthy both, it's always versus observation. So
That
it'd be
makes
one of the guards' observation, and then maybe give them a bonus die because I'm carrying a body with me.
All right. So let's call it B4.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, with the yeah, I'm supposed like a 3 plus the advantage dice would be like
Yeah.
a 4.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. So I've got 7, and I pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 successes with a 6 if I need to fade it.
Okay. Oh man, what the hell?
All right, perfect.
All right. All right.
Man, I didn't even need to have Griff help me with that one.
No, so you
But
managed to.
This kind of stuff is exactly what my character is designed to do.
Yeah, that's good. That's why you get
Like,
all the forks in because.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this skill list for this exact reason.
No, the Weisses are very well thought out because they are.
Yeah, only got the 3 of them, and they work like a charm. I can normally.
They're
get
different.
2 in.
They're different, but they're
Which-
easy to apply. Yeah.
I could even fork in crime wise on that one as well. Like I'm absolutely committing a crime. Okay,
All right.
so next one is to set the scene.
All right.
So I've got the body. So my base 2 for disguise, and then I'm gonna fork in all 3 of my wises. Like setting up scenes and shit seems absolutely like a griftwise type deal.
Yep.
And then spycraft wise, like pretty much anything a spy would have to do works out really well for that. And then it's absolutely a crime as well.
Because you're setting it on fire.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. Do I got anything else that might help? No, I don't. So yeah, I've got 5 that I'll be rolling for this. But now we need an ob.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And this is one of those arbitrary obs that you're gonna have to just like come up with.
Yeah, I'm thinking. How many dice do you have again?
I have 5.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is one of the toughest parts because you're gonna commit arson in the middle of the town.
Yeah, and I've also got to get a body in without people noticing. There's
So
a
I'm gonna-
lot going on in here. However, with that having to get a body without anybody else noticing, I'd like to fork stealthy in as well.
Okay. I'll
So
allow it.
That
But I'm
gives
gonna
me
call
6.
it an ob 4.
Oh, ob 4. Okay. So persona points going into this.
You might want to think about it because I'm thinking it's gonna be kind of tough. You have to sneak the body in,
Yep.
set the place on fire, and get away clean so nobody sees.
Helping die from Griff for standing lookout and let me know what's going on.
Sure.
Okay, so that gets me up to 7 with that, and then 8 with my persona point.
Sounds cool.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just barely.
There you go. Anything you want to fate so you can get extra obs for the next step?
No,
Extra
no, no
dice?
sixes.
No sixes.
Yeah,
Okay.
no sixes. Can't fade it, but that's okay because
All right.
I got it. So that's 2 successes on this. So step 3 is absconding him safely out of town.
Yeah. So let's. That's probably inconspicuous or stealthy, and either one of those could be like your main skill, and you can fork in the others.
Yeah.
You might want to fork in disguise. Uh, what else can you
Yep.
fork in?
I figure so. I got
Spycraft.
my B4
Uh,
inconspicuous. I can fork in stealthy,
okay.
fork in disguise, fork in spycraft wise.
Yeah. And
Um.
uh, let's give you a helping dice from him.
Okay. So let's see.
So,
Let me get all these put in. So there's my base 4 plus stealthy plus spycraft plus his helping die. That gives me 7.
and I'm thinking this is like an op 3.
And streetwise, for knowing the proper routes to get around.
Yep. And I'm thinking this is an op 3
Okay.
because it is a crowded town.
Yep.
People will be distracted by the fire.
Yep.
So I'm thinking it's a 3. Nobody's on the lookout really for you.
Yep.
So
Nobody really knows what's going on. So here is the 8, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. So that gives you an extra dice for the next test. Is that correct?
Each one of those successes gives me an extra dice for the final test.
Or is it the ones above the ob?
Uh, well, each one of those that I fail would increase the op by 1 because it's a link
okay.
test. The
Each
link
step.
test, they all
Step.
go towards that very final test. It's actually the deciding
That's
factor.
true. That's true. It's
So-
not in a sequence. Is they are all convergent? Yeah.
Yeah, all to
Alright.
that final
Okay.
test because all of these are working to make that final test believable.
Excellent.
So I
Excellent.
got an extra 3 dice on that, so that's nice.
All
so
right.
he gets safely out of town, and I'm going to give him a cash die out of my stash as well
Okay. Okay.
to help him out, and I'm also going to give his wife a cash die before she
Wow.
leaves as well,
Okay.
as just a way for them to get started
All right. All right.
with their new life.
All
So
right.
that should help them. That take me down to 3 cash die, but I'm okay with that. So at this point, we're making our way back to the boat, and I'm speaking with Griff.
All
It
right.
was like, I know you didn't want to assassinate him, and as much as I'd really like to stick it to Isham right now, that's not possible. So we're just gonna have to pretend like we didn't know about the family.
He says
What's gonna
I like
have to
your-
happen?
He says I like your style, son. You managed to work your way out of very sticky situations.
Well, we're not out of the woods quite yet. We still have to make sure he buys it. And at this point, I would like to make a manhunter roll
Okay.
on Griff.
All right.
So let me pull up manhunter here. Which is page 335. So manhunter. This trait grants the ability to detect strong emotion in others, namely fear, nerves, elation, and arousal. The character's perception acts as the aura reading skill, but only for non-spell detection uses.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to come to aura reading in the skill list.
$258.
Yep. So this is the talent to read an aura or see within it the present, future, and past. Aura readers can decipher gossamer veils of emotion, deception, clarity, and purpose. This skill does not grant the character the ability to see auras. That ability must be acquired through a trait, prayer, or spells. Obstacles. Detecting if the subject is alive, dead from this plane or another, ob 1.
Mhm.
Reading an aura trait like aura of fear, ob 1. Reading a mood, ob 2. Seeing a character trait, ob 2. Seeing a die or call on trait, ob 3. Sensing a person's intent to deceive, for example, ob 4. Seeing an instinct, ob 6. Seeing a belief is ob 7.
All right.
So I feel like the ob 4, sensing a person's intent,
All right.
is good enough. While I'd like to see his belief, there's no way I'll make that roll.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, we're gonna have to go with the ob 4, sensing a person's intent. I would levy for an advantage die just for what I know about him. I've spent quite a bit of time with him.
Okay. I'll give it to you.
All right, so that gives me my base of 4 for my perception, plus the advantage die, and this is a rather important roll for me. So I am going to use that last persona point I have
Okay.
and get 6 dice on the ob 4,
All
and
right.
hope to hell this works. That's 4 with 6 if I needed to fade it. Hell yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Dice roller hated me in the beginning, but it's fucking working now.
Hey. All right. So, he's he's uh he's studying you. Is basically what he's doing. Uh, Way back in the prison when you lied and said that you wanted to kill the king, uh, he didn't go for it. He didn't believe you.
Yeah.
He's still not quite sure what to make of you, but uh, he's been observing the way you operate and the deceit that you constantly pull and all the schemes that you manage to work through and everything. So he's starting to figure out that you're not the criminal that you pretend to be.
Okay.
So,
It's at this point.
he harbors. At this point, he harbors no ill will towards you.
And at this
So,
point, especially considering how he's like, I'm just a smuggler, like, I don't feel like he's a criminal in the traditional sense of the word. Like, yeah, he breaks the law, but he views the crimes that he commits as victimless. Like, he doesn't
exactly.
feel he's doing harm to people, and he won't. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull him aside in an alley on the way back to the boat. And be like,
All
all right,
right.
Griff, listen, I'm going to level with you. I'm not who I say I am. I mean, I am who I say I am. Obviously, I'm Donlin fucking Trine. Like, you know
Hmm.
this. But I did not attempt to kill the king. That was all staged. There have been, as I'm sure you're aware, numerous assassination attempts on the king over the last 10 years. And with each attempt, they get closer and closer. Me and the king devised a plan to put these to bed, and it required me becoming part of the criminal underground. We staged his attempt. I was in prison on purpose. I am here to root out the criminal element and find his conspirators. I feel I can trust you, and I'm sorry I lied to you that first day in the yard, but at that point, I didn't know you from, a shit stain in my underwear.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that I could trust you. I feel like I can now, and because of that, I have something I have to ask of you.
All right.
I need you to return and deliver a message to the king, personally, from me.
Hmm.
He is not aware of that corrupt death warden at the Keep of Sorrows. If he was, that warden wouldn't be there. The king needs to know that not only about that warden, but also that I am safe and that I have begun infiltrating the criminal underground. Now, for obvious reasons, I can't return myself and do this. Like, I will absolutely be seen, and I'll wind up right back in prison. You, on the other hand, you'll be much freer to move about.
All
Now,
right.
there will be some risk because you are a prison escapee,
Hmm.
but I guarantee you that since I broke out, they're much more focused on me. The the traitor of the kingdom escaped prison 3 days into it. Like, that's going to be big talk. That should more than overshadow you. Nobody should be looking for you.
All right.
And I need you to do this for me.
All right.
I hope that at this point in time, after seeing the way I conduct myself, you can know what I'm saying is true.
All right.
And furthermore, I can also inform you, and this is strictly between us, the king is currently in negotiation talks to start bringing in some of these more illicit substances and make them legal. That's his next step to eliminate crime, is to just legalize the stuff, because people are going to do it anyways, which means if it's legalized, you'd no longer have to smuggle. You could have legitimate trade with the king, and I can set that up for you, provided my mission is a success.
All right. All right. He likes it. He likes it. He's going to take it.
Perfect.
I'm going to say yes, so he's going to do that.
Perfect.
I feel like at some point, it doesn't have to be today, maybe you can help me figure this out. We want to make some sort of roll to see if Griff's mission succeeds and to what degree.
Yeah, something like that.
So let's think about that, and we can play it out later.
Yep, for sure.
Because,
works for me.
We can, if he fails, we can introduce maybe some complications on it further on.
Yeah,
so,
works for me. Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So,
so at this point, we're gonna go ahead and make it back to the boat.
All right. Okay. Do you want Griff to go with you at this point, or?
Yeah. He should be with me.
Okay.
He wouldn't leave in the middle of the night for this journey.
Okay.
At
no,
that
because
point, it would look very, very suspicious.
Yeah, but from this city, from this coastal town, I'm sure he can scrounge up some Lycinian traders and hop a boat and take off on his own. So whenever you're ready for him to depart, this is a good place for him to pick a boat and leave.
For sure, and we'll probably do that come morning.
Sure.
I'll send him with some cash die too. Maybe as advantage towards this future role for his success.
Okay.
Give him one of my cash die just, to ply for, travel expenses or whatever, passage on a ship, bribing a guard, whatever the case may be.
All right. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe at some point we can take like half an hour or something for the next session, and maybe you run Griff.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
For a couple of roll or something and do Griff's mission like a real short thing and see what falls out of that.
Yeah, perfect.
I've been reading up and I've been listening to Sean Hayworth's Burning Fiorza podcast and because I've always figured what happens if your guy gets like a traumatic wound and he's out of the game for a year or something like that, and an alternative is to pick a secondary character and just use him for a while. So Griff might be a choice if we get into that type of situation. Let's hope we don't, but
it could happen. I came close.
Yeah, and we could do like a little side thing next time we play him. I'll send you the sheet.
Yeah, you can just throw it up on that Google Drive.
Yeah, I'll do that. So
we get back. I figure we took. It's a couple hours after the sun goes down. We didn't want to run right back to the ship. I wanted to talk to him and whatnot. And I'll just stride in, and I'm not gonna knock on his door or nothing. I'm just gonna walk in, just everything confident like, and say it's done.
All right. So let's do falsehood right there.
Yep, falsehood. So I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna tell him it's done. I burned his entire shop to the ground. Nobody saw me. We are good.
All right.
And so let's see. I've got my falsehood of 5. Along with my persuasion, my spycraft, and my grift.
Wow. Plus the successes from the other stuff?
Oh, yeah. Plus 3 more dice.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So all he has to his will.
All he has to resist is his will. Wow. So is it the exponent or do I roll?
No, it's his exponent. The exponent
Let's make it the freaking exponent. Do you know how much will he has?
How much?
B6.
4, 5, B6? I'm down with 6.
Baby. Well,
I'm down with 6.
I'm not even cheating. It's right there.
So. I believe you. I believe you.
I don't even have to. Yeah.
I know you burned him up, and that sounds perfectly fair. Grab a health. Does Griff have any way he can help? Any kind of falsehood or persuasion? Any kind of speaking skill?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Hang on. I believe he has falsehood. Falsehood B5. So
Perfect. So I will
wait,
take
wait,
that
wait.
helping
For
five from him.
helping, you need sevens give extra
7.
die.
Yes,
Oh,
it's got
okay.
to be 7.
For forking, 5 gives extra dice, isn't it?
Um,
Do you have any B5 skills?
maybe
Because
it's 5 for
let's check it.
helping
Because
and
I read
7.
that
I think it's 5 for helping and 7 for forking.
it's 7 for forking. You're correct. And if
Yeah.
you're helping, let's see, where's helping? Helping dice. If the exponent is 5 or higher, 2 dice are granted. So you can get 2
Nice.
dice from Griff.
Nice. So that puts me up to 13.
Yep.
This is a big roll. I want to go ahead and turn my camera on for this one.
Do it. Yeah.
Just because this is going to be a big turning point in the story. I
It's
don't want to lag
huge.
everything out, but we'll turn it back on for this one.
Yeah.
All right, and here comes the roll. Ooh. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, but I have 3 sixes in there. And I've got a fate, so that fate is absolutely happening. Let me get over here and mark this fate off my sheet. All right, so 3 additional dice. Got it.
Nice.
Got it. And
Nice.
I'm
And
gonna
you got
re-roll
an
that
extra
other 6 that popped up too, just for the hell of it, because whatever.
because it's cool.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
On the money.
Okay.
That's right. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that is quite a lot of dice right there.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Nice.
quite a bit, but yeah,
Nice.
that worked out well.
Excellent.
Yet again, protecting innocent life. One of these
Yes.
days, it's going to be too much trouble, and I'm going to have to say fuck it and take the mold bricks of soda and let an innocent die. But that day
Yeah.
is not today.
That is awesome. I think that's keeps making for a very interesting play. So
That's
Ishin believes you. I mean, he welcomes you aboard, and he's going to give you some information. So, and I
okay.
think this information that he's going to give you is where we're going to end it, because this is
Yeah.
likely useful for your next beliefs, because
hmm
you completed at least one right here, and you advanced a point on your
yeah.
other one. So he goes. He says, uh, "My spies confirmed that what you have said is true. Uh, I am glad that Snake Tegel is dead. Um, now we move on to Anglapur, the capital city, and there we will reclaim my seat at the Ophidian Council. Um, the ship sets out. You guys are already rolling on the river.
Okay.
While he's telling you this, and he's confiding in you and explaining what he wants from you when you get to the capital city. He says, the underworld of the city is run by the Ophidian Council. This is 4 individuals. I was one of them. They called me the Asp, like the snake, the Asp,
hmm
um, for my role in running drugs and poisons to other countries. There are 2 additional snake lords like myself. One is Relgar the Slaver, who runs trade in slaves, and that is what he contributes. While slavery is legal in Arendelle, it is not legal in other countries. But Relgar handles that in any case. Um, then we have Golo the Lesser. Golo runs everything else: domestic thievery, gambling, and prostitution within the city of Anglapur. Now, above us all, is a mysterious figure called the Hooded Emperor, and he has control over the council. I don't know what has happened since my time away, but I want to reclaim my seat there, perhaps even gain control of the city from the Hidden Emperor. What we need to do is get in there, and while I reestablish my old contacts, I need you to destabilize the city.
Okay.
Either take down Relgar, the slaver, or Golo the Lesser. If you kill one of those two, you will shift the balance of power, and it will make it easier for me to regain my old station.
Okay.
So I'll send you a written version of that, because that's a lot of information right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I
But,
got some notes taken, but a written version would be nice.
yeah, but the basic gist is there's 3 other people in the underworld,
Hmm.
and one is like a big boss above the other 3. One of the 3 is Isham, so there's really a big boss and 2 other guys. He wants you to kill one of the 2 lesser guys.
Yep.
One is a slaver. The other one runs prostitution and gambling and whatnot within the city. All right. So
Sounds
that's
good.
basically your mission
Yep.
for next time.
Yep. I've got ideas, and I'm going to inform Griff of this in
Mm-hmm.
private and give him all the information that was just given to me, and amend the message to have him let the king know that I've infiltrated this. He wants me to help him get on top. To
All
this
right.
end, I will do it, but when all said and done, I'm going to take him out too, and I will lead all the crime in Arendelle.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
will be on top, and with those contacts and connections, I should be able to expand out and start destroying other criminal syndicates across the land for you. And that way I've
Nice.
got a progress report to the king
Uh-huh.
and some decent overall goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a fun session.
Yes, it was. I think it was. And this is good because I had, yeah, obviously all this information that I just gave you, I prepared beforehand.
Yeah.
But all I had for the city, the little town that you just went to, was the town description and the guy and what he had done. That was
Yeah.
all I had. So
Yeah,
this
it
is
worked out really well.
this is where Burning Wheel
Yeah.
helps a lot, because it's just put obstacles in your way, and you take care
Yeah.
of the rest. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's
I'm, I'm,
nice. The,
I'm,
and a lot of that comes from having really well written beliefs and having that stuff banged out.
yeah,
Like, yeah, like those beliefs, like those are purposefully there for you to fuck with me. That is why I have them
yeah.
written that way.
I
And
know, and
yeah,
they're perfect. Yeah.
yeah, that helps out quite a bit.
All right.
Hold on, I got updates. Fate points spent, persona points spent.
Yeah, and we got to do
I
art.
think I got all of my tests in.
Where's my Clippy? Here's my Clippy.
Yes, I do. Oh, yeah, because that perception was routine, so it did not get.
Oh, really?
That perception was only routine.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay.
had it before. So that does not get count, but it's okay. So it really need to start getting some either difficult or challenging on my persuasion and disguise. They'll start going up. Inconspicuous. Like I've got good routines for those
Yeah.
ready. So yeah, it's just a matter of putting myself in a position to get the right tests and turning down some help.
Yeah. They're ratcheting up the screws.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So
Where is
art
my
rewards.
Yep.
Um.
So beliefs, driving the game forward with a belief. Okay, let's look at those beliefs. I shall start by offering my services as a thief and assassin to Isham to help me infiltrate his inner circle.
I feel like that's accomplished. Like he's giving me information, telling me his plans and what he expects of me.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like I'm in the like swimwear right now.
You are, but you just learned there's a bigger circle that you need to get into. So,
Well, and but that's not Isham's inner circle. That's the circle he's a part of.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
that,
I'll
that,
buy it.
that could be the new belief,
I'll
or
buy
one of
it.
them is something with that.
Okay, I'll buy it.
And then
So,
it'd be a fate for innocent life.
yeah, which you did,
A lot of work for a
and
fate point, but it was fun.
but hey, it was fun, and a persona for
Yep, for
Griff.
Griff and ascertaining
So,
his motives and getting there.
yeah, so that
I
was
did
two
not
persona
play.
and one fate, right?
Yeah, I
For
did
your
not.
belief.
Yeah, I didn't play any instincts to my detriment. I could have let go of that always blend in with the crowd, but I felt
Yeah.
like it was best suited to get away.
Yeah, yeah, no humor, right skill, right time. Not really.
Yeah, I had lots of different options for all of those.
Yeah, I'll give you a persona for embodiment.
Okay.
I think I think you play that really well.
Yeah, I really have gotten in this character's head. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
sitting
you're,
down here and I'm thinking like he is.
and that's the important because I've played spies in games before, and my problem has been usually I can do most of what you're doing, but the GM doesn't go along. So
Yeah,
I feel like you're doing what I've always wanted to do,
yeah,
and you've done it real well. You think outside the box and set one faction against another. So I think that that gives you a persona right there.
perfect.
And you're kind of starving for fate, aren't you?
I've got 4 fate right now with the one that I just got because I only spent 1 fate point this game.
Oh, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
dropped all of my persona points this game. I was down at
Yeah.
0 at the end, but I just upped
So
that back up to 3. So, and
that's
that's how it's been just about every session. Is whatever points I spend, I wind up making back by the end of the game, anyways.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm right back up to four fate and 3 persona.
Well, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It's yeah, and that's part of the game. I mean, it's not like you want a huge stash.
No, yeah,
You just use it.
you got to spend them.
Yeah, you just burn them when it feels right.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you just got to know when to spend them. What's important to you.
yeah,
Which, and that's something that Burning Empires really put in me was spending Arda on pursuit of beliefs. Because in
okay.
Burning Empires, if you drop Persona into a role that furthers a belief, you can later at the trait vote use that to leverage for a trait that you want that involves that belief.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah,
a pretty
and that's like not a character trait, but for like a call on or a die trait.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
And
that really got me in the habit of thinking about which things were important to me, and when it's appropriate to spend the Arda versus when it's not.
yeah, and that's something that I've watched constantly in Sean Hayward's videos. I was listening to Sean Nittner actually said the same thing. It's like I'm burning Persona because this is a belief of mine. So they're
Yep.
in that mindset too, and I think
Yeah,
it
yeah,
really adds to the game because you're not rolling to get the roll. You're making sure that you spend it on the stuff that really matters to you.
yeah, yeah. The
So,
stuff that you want to see happen, and that's what beliefs are about. Is what's important to you about your character.
mhm. So, yeah, this was awesome. So
Yeah,
you're on vacation till
for the
Monday,
next
right?
week. Yes, I'll be back Monday. So if you want, we can run yours on Monday and then just start doing mine Thursdays, and just kind of
Sure,
flip flop the days. That way, we don't have to run mine back to back, and we can get back to Arngrim.
sure. That'll be fine. It'll give us more time to hammer down those beliefs for the next session, and I'll send you the
Yep,
written stuff
yep.
so so we can
Yeah,
work on
for
that.
sure. And I'll have access to internet and whatnot while I'm gone, so we can email back and forth. I'm not gonna have the time to sit down and play.
No,
Like I
yeah,
said,
I
we're
know,
gonna be
I
in
know.
Chicago the one night, and then I'm be back at home, and I don't make it back home too often. I mean,
No, no,
and
no.
when I am home, like never have enough time to see everybody that I want to see. Like
Yeah,
it
no,
never
no.
works out like that. So
Don't
it's
even.
gonna be a lot of busyness and running around
Yeah, don't even sweat it. I mean, I know how it is. Just, but
for sure.
at least we'll
Ooh,
have email so we
yeah,
can communicate.
I forgot. I do have a successful perception test that I can log for my manhunter role.
Oh, that's right.
That yeah, that was a, difficult test.
So that dinks you up.
It doesn't ding me up. That's the first time I've been able to log a perception test, but it's a log
Oh,
test.
okay. It's a
It
log
makes it
test. That's right.
closer.
Perception is the stat. Perception is a stat. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
All right. Well, this was a fun game. Just
Yes,
email
it
me that
was.
stuff, and I'll email you back and forth so I can try to work out something for your next game too. Try to
Excellent.
figure out where, because we left at a pretty big point
Yeah,
where
yeah.
like we now
We
know
need
that
to
you need to
refocus.
get your get your father's bones to make a weapon, but barring that, there's not a lot of direction going on right now. So
Yeah,
I
we
really
need to
want to email you
refocus.
back and forth a couple of times and get some expectations banged out so I can start working on something and then do our pregame like normal.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, perfect. I will see you on Monday, buddy.
Okay. Take care.
And thanks to the viewer that popped in and out. Glad you stopped by. Hope you enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Later, guys.
Bye bye.